Alright, y'all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I'm doing my kind of weekly update in this video. I like to get them done every Monday or Tuesday just to tell y'all kind of how the week and the weekend went. I know that a lot of people are facing challenges because of the COVID-19 coronavirus stuff. And I know I hinted at last week when I did a check-in saying, hey, the grass is still going to grow. People are still going to have to cut their grass. The economy goes down. People are going to find cheaper alternatives, buy a mower, cut it themselves, as opposed to hiring a lawn service, etc., etc. So, on the opposite end of that, I mentioned people along the lines, especially with the economy going down and very fluctuating very much in the short term, that it might affect sales, particularly of riding mowers. Just because people may not want to give up that much cash given the uncertainty in the markets right now, and the potential of them being out of work, especially for hourly workers. I couldn't tell you because I don't have a benchmark of me last year selling riding mowers around this time. We're in mid-March. I think I did all right this week. I hope everybody else out there did too. Thankfully, I still feel that our industry is not going to be affected as much by the coronavirus as a lot of other industries. Hopefully it doesn't get much worse than it is in terms of restrictions and stuff with I've heard quarantine and whatnot, but I think those claims are going to be false. We'll turn out. I'm not a politician. I'm not a lawmaker. I'm just along for the ride. I know that my line of work, I have pretty good security in my job at this point in time. I'm not really worried about the virus affecting that. So thankfully, I love doing this on the side. Let's get into this about 2 minutes in. Hopefully, like I said, y'all had a good week of selling. I had a decent week of selling. I have a couple of stories for you though. So the first one involves this Cub Cadet. This one you'll see very shortly on the channel, actually getting fixed. Here I believe it's coming up in the next week or two. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but I know it's next in line because we just finished the Craftsman LT2000. This one right here, there was an individual that messaged me on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll catch me with real-time updates at Ellis Mowers 09, as well as Facebook. Kind of a little sneak peek of what I'm working on before the videos drop. She messaged me saying she wanted it. This is not the first time she has messaged me saying that she wanted a push mower from me, and lo and behold, I gave her until March 15th to let me know. Because of financial difficulties and money and stuff like that, it always seems that every time that she wants a lawnmower, something comes up. So I said, let me know by March 15th if you have a check in the mail or if you're going to come get it, because the individual lives about an hour away from me. Haven't heard back. Today is it March 16th? Yes. So this mower is listed on Marketplace now for $160. Not going to lose any sales or anything, because we're just getting started for the season. This red Murray 3.5 horsepower classic needed just a few little things to get going. Nothing much more than a service, carb diaphragm, all that good stuff. Had to work on the governor springs. This one runs good. I listed it for $50. Somebody actually came yesterday saying that they were going to get it, and then it's like they ghosted me. They said they were going to get it today, bring me the cash, take it home with them. Haven't heard from them. So they were going to come about 5. I filmed this about 6:30. So that one's probably going to get relisted. Again, folks, the reason why I did that, I usually say, if you're not on the way, I'm not holding the mower. I'm not going to sell a mower out from somebody who is actually traveling to my house to come get them. I was helping my dad with some trees this weekend, and they messaged me, and I ended up being back home a lot later than I originally thought I was going to be, and so I gave her the benefit of the doubt, let her come see it. I said, I'll be the first to show it to you, or you'll be the first that will have the opportunity to buy it. So, oh well. somebody will buy this one. I mean, all I got to do is relist it. I'll probably relist it whenever I have off days later in the week, because I know a $50 mower sells pretty quickly. I had 4 inquiries that night. I'm sure all the others have fallen through. I'll find somebody else to buy, that'll buy it. No big deal. Still no movement on the Lawn Boy. I got it out. It's doing better. I had to do a little bit of a carburetor deal with it that you'll see coming up in the videos. I think it's coming after the Cub, so I'll be on the lookout for that. I got this one out. I sold one of these standard wheel ones without the bag. I've sold one of these big wheel ones without the bag. One of the Hyper Toughs here will be leaving this week to a co-worker who's going to buy it from me. I got the air filters in for this Tough Cut 200 that I kind of took a motor off and put a deck on. That'll be a 2-part series you'll see coming up near the end of April. Put a new air filter in it. Had to order a new air filter. I have it listed for $130. Haven't really had any bites on it yet. We'll see. The deck's brand new. The motor runs good. Figured it's worth $130 still. At least $100, you know. Hopefully $120. Alright, so this one is not made me very happy very recently. The Weedeater. Had it running, had the final test and everything. I said I'm going to let it run for about 10 minutes before I list it. I had pictures taken and everything. And if you follow me on Instagram, a couple of y'all commented about the deck. I will be doing the deck. Do not worry, because this mower owes me one. Had it on its test run. I was like, it sounds like it's running a little bit fast. Everything on the throttle and the governor looked good. And it would idle down and stuff like that. And I'm like, these throttles really don't, you don't really adjust these throttles on these mowers. Lo and behold, I was doing the final test and the internal governor went out. So I think it was already going out, because I could hear it change tune a little bit while it was running before it finally just idled down all the way and stopped. Barely even run. You'd have to choke it and then it would just like lug in and idle. Couldn't even put it in gear and put a load on it. So the internal governor's out on that. Well, a while back I bought, of course I could put a governor in that and be fine. But either way, the motor's got to come off and come apart. I got this 14.5 overhead valve. I'm just going to swap everything over on it, pop the flywheel off, and put a new stator in it, because he said the stator broke off. The one wild card with that is I hope that there's no issues with the stator mounts under the flywheel. That's my only thing about this motor, is that. Because he said that the stator broke, and he showed me it, where it had come off and stuff like that. So we'll see about that. I hope to knock this out in like a morning here coming up later in the week. Alright, this is like Craftsman City here. I'm coming up. I got a lot of updates for y'all. Craftsman, this is the V-twin one I think I showed you last week. That I had the part that had the transmission linkage that was cracked and broken on it. Well, I put the new linkage in, and the gears work great. I've driven it, tested it. The only issue is I've adjusted it all the way to one side, and it's still not enough adjustment, because it's about a gear off. This is neutral, I think. Yeah, see where neutral is? Neutral is around first gear. If I pull it in reverse, that's about as far, like that's reverse. So it's about a gear off, and there's nothing I can do with it. All the gears work great, though. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Have a couple of deck springs that came in the mail. I've got to put on this one. I still haven't touched that opposed twin that had the bad pulley on it with the hydrostatic. I do plan to get to that, all those this week. I'd love to have all of them ready this week, including this Weedeater that it's kind of like, you know, I just need to not see you for a few days, you know. Alright, so one thing that you might notice is no longer in the garage is the black Murray, the one that I got for $25. Put a deck spindle on, tire tubes. and then basically just did a tune up to it. Apart from that, with some blade sharpening and all that good stuff. Well, I sold that for $300, and I got a trade, and it's actually almost exactly like the lawnmower that I own, my personal mower. And it's this one. It is a 15.5 horse Briggs, so you think, Craftsman. But when you open the hood, there's a surprise. It's an opposed twin. 19 horse opposed twin on this one. So this one has the issue of it turns left, but it won't turn right, which is a typical Craftsman steering issue. And also, look at the battery cable on this thing. The positive battery cable is just atrocious. So I had to replace the positive battery cable. He did say that it ran on choke. The guy put a new, looks like he almost put a new fuel pump or something in it, which is probably what the issue is with this one. And it looks like he did. They may have done something with the carburetor. I'm not quite sure. This is the four one. I did a 3 screw on this one right here. Probably just needs a 4 screw. Fuel pump on it, possibly, or they didn't put the fuel pump on right. One of the two. So spindles are good and all that good stuff. So hopefully this will be a quick turnaround, easy fix. And I just got a message that that the woman buying the $50 push mower is gonna pass on it after I held it for 3 days. How about that? All right. It's also missing the cover for the discharge. So, I mean, that's a $300 mower. I'll probably make $150 on it. Hopefully a quick turnaround. There's the one that I haven't gotten to yet. I hope to get to that one this weekend. Probably should go ahead and order tire tubes for it so I can get it sold next week. This one is about to be sold. A co-worker is buying this for his parents. I actually cut the grass with it today. It did excellent. It's not very cosmetically pleasing, but it's solid as a rock. So $425 is what this one's going for. So I feel like I got a pretty good deal on that one. I was hoping to get $400 out of it. I listed for $425 for the heck of it. Especially after I put the new fuel pump on, the thing starts right up and runs. Just got to put gas in it. Because I had the perfect amount of gas in it. I thought I had a buyer for the electric mower, but they ghosted me. Y'all know how that is. Here's a hood bracket that I bought for the hood for that Craftsman that had the wizard hood out there. So I got that going on. As you can see, I've got plenty of mowers left. The exception of all the self-propellers are gone. I just got a ton of these Hyper Toughs to get rid of. I can't wait to get rid of these things. Might have to drop them to 80, but if I drop them to 80, then there's either $80 or no dollars is going to get it. I can't sell them for less than 80 with what I got in them. So yeah, hopefully y'all are doing all right in terms of sales amidst the so-called crisis in our country right now. And hopefully the season will pick up as the grass starts growing. A lot of people are just getting out for the first time cutting grass here in the next couple of weeks, so it'll probably be pretty busy. I need to get at least 2 to 3 more riding mowers ready by that time. So some of y'all don't really care for my rambling, so I'll end it here. After I explain the Weedeater, this is a Troy-built 4-cycle Weedeater. I probably should have listed it a couple weeks ago, but it was in my lean-to, and every time I didn't have any pictures of it, and I forgot to list it. It has one of them cheap carbs on it because the other one was bad. And it's a little temperamental to start, but it runs pretty good once you get it going. There's the old tried and true Echo that I have had forever, and it runs great. Just a little SRM 225. Would really love this Craftsman to go. Haven't had any bites on it yet. Had a couple inquiries. I think, wonder if I might have to do a little drop on the price from 600 to 550, but to the right person, this mower is going to be great. Anyways, haven't touched the mowers on the trailer yet. It'll probably be April before I get to them. But thank y'all for watching. I'll do another update next week as long as mowers sell and mowers are moving in here. Just kind of check in with y'all as I promised. And I will catch y'all then.